welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, aka Beck, and as always, we love hearing from all of you. Comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always drop an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Joining alongside Ryan Shotgun, as always, is producer, sound engineer, and co-host Jeff Tigger Earhart.
You didn't even hear that I had to go over and close the door, did you?
Of course I heard.
Well, I don't think anybody else heard.
No, I don't think anyone else noticed
got back,
the
got my
difference.
headset on, we're going.
Here we are, always trying to deliver the best quality in sound that you can get.
I tell you what, sometimes it's a huckabuck show, I swear. I mean, the way things come together, we've been doing this for a long time, and sometimes it's just that close on the edge, right?
Well, you know what? That is about how life goes, right? You got to shuck and jive, whatever's tossed at you. It's never going to be the way you plan. Just like how many of you are on the road right now? You probably started Christmas already celebrating the other day.
Right.
So you could be on your second or third or fourth Christmas before Christmas is even here.
You might be just sitting back celebrating and having a beverage or two.
That's okay to enjoy that.
A beverage?
There's nothing wrong with tossing back a little bit of that special brandy you've been holding on to.
Heck no. Let's wrap this up and let's do it ourselves.
All right, I'll agree. Our big story this week is wolves have been released into Colorado.
Hey, hold on a minute. This is not a political one, is it?
No comment.
You're not going down that road, are you?
No comment at this point. But back on Monday, December 18th, the Colorado Parks and Wildlife experts released 5 gray wolves onto public land in Grand County in the historic effort to create a permanent self-sustaining wolf population and fulfill voter approval to reestablish gray wolves in Colorado. The gray wolves were captured in Oregon, where CPW veterinarians and biologists evaluated them to determine if they were fit for relocation to Colorado. Criteria for release included the age, sex, health, and body condition of each animal. Each gray wolf was weighed and measured. Staff collected genetic material, tissue, and blood samples before fitting each with a GPS satellite collar for tracking upon release by CPW staff. Then the wolves were given vaccines and were placed in crates and flown to Colorado for release back into the wild. CPW will repeat the process until at least 10 to 15 wolves have been reintroduced in Colorado by mid-March 2024. As outlined in the Colorado Wolf Restoration and Management Plan, CPW hopes to release 30 to 50 wolves over the next 3 to 5 years, using wolves captured from nearby northern Rockies states from several different packs by trapping and darting them in the winter. Gray wolves were listed both state and federally as an endangered species in Colorado by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services. Now, here's the other side to this. Colorado ranchers and livestock owners have been against the reintroduction of wolves into the state. Other states, for example, like New Mexico and Oregon, also have reimbursement programs. However, Colorado is still working to put one together. California, for example, is one of the only in the nation that covers ranches for all 3 types of reimbursement, including direct loss, indirect loss, and the use of non-lethal wolf deterrents. We will definitely be keeping a close eye on how Colorado proceeds to compensate livelihoods that may be affected by the introduction of wolves, especially when you consider its neighboring state, Wyoming, where most of Wyoming wolves are designated as predators that can be shot on site without a hunting license or permit, except in the northwest part of the state, which has been designated as a trophy hunting area for wolves. The video, by the way, of the first 5 wolves being released into Colorado can be viewed on our website under the show notes. Visit thebendshow.com. But I want to talk about this a little bit more with you, Tigger, because
my leg is twitching.
Some of the comments that I have heard from ranchers, specifically in the northern part of Colorado where it borders Wyoming, is that wolves have been coming across the border. Of course, there's no big fence that can stop them. They've been coming over for years. So why do they have to force introduction of the said wolves when they're already here?
Well, I think the big problem with this is that there is not the compensation program in place, and that's what worries a lot of land users in that area. Now, I am all for, if there is an endangered species, of being able to preserve them. I'm all for that conservation, of course. But now we've got this battle between, we have a species that is being introduced into a state where they are already there in the first darn place, like you said, in the northern parts of Colorado. It's not just a small problem. This is a huge problem that a lot of landowners, are facing because there is no compensation program when livestock are lost due to predators.
Exactly. And there have been lawsuits over this last year with ranchers and those that are raising livestock that could be in question against this said bill that got passed and why this introduction is even happening, saying, just as you said, where is our reimbursement otherwise? Where are our rights if we lose our livelihood to something that is known as a predator? For example, California, they did make history by saying, you know what? Other states haven't done this, but they said, yes, you're right. If you're having to now say, bring onto your operation donkeys or mules, something that's known to chase after those coyotes, those wolves, to protect the herd, why should somebody have to pay for said extra security for a predator that is known to prey on your livelihood?
So this is obviously just Beck and I sharing our opinions on this. And so now I'm really curious what y'all are thinking out there in other parts of the country, in other parts of the continent, really. Give us a shout, send us an email, go on Facebook, leave a comment, and let's just kind of put a total together of people of what they think and why they feel the way that they do.
I like what you're thinking. Let's have a fun debate on this, if nothing else, and share some thoughts.
I don't think it's going to be fun, Beck, but a debate, I think, is what we can certainly have.
Well, as you know, Tigger and I are both, yes, ranchers, advocates of agriculture, but we are also very staunch advocates of wildlife and conservation. So we can see both sides, but there does need to be some equality, something that takes care of all sides and makes everyone happy.
All right, that's easier said than done, dear, but we'll find out. Let's hear some comments and hear what people have to say.
All right, crew, we're going to take a short break. I know some of you were maybe a little still hot under the collar on this.
It's Christmas, so let's move on to something fun, shall we?
I agree. We're going to be talking about enjoying that wild game, beef, or other frozen meats this coming holiday.
You're listening to The Bend Radio Show, and we will be right back after this.
You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadwin Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
Hi, this is Kim with Medora Boot and Western Wear, and I wanted to let everybody know that we are having a huge boot sale through Christmas Eve. It's 30% off on many items. We have Boulay, we have our Watson, we have Justin, we have Tony, men's, women's, and kids. They're 30% off up until Christmas. Thank you.
Check them out online at medoraboot.com.
The holidays are around the corner, and finding that thoughtful gift is always the goal. We have the perfect idea for you. Meet author Rochelle Barrett, The Prairie Crocus.
I welcome you to my world, a collection of poems, love notes, and essays about ranch life, motherhood, and life lessons from the prairie in my new book, Anthology, and 2024 Ranch Life Calendar. Order both today at prairie-crocus.com.
Beautiful photos with words that speak to the heart and soul. Prairie-crocus.com, turning thoughts into writings from the heart. A perfect gift in time for the holidays. Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Bend Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and alongside, as always, my trusty sidekick, Jeff Tigger Earhart.
Did you bring me one Tylenol or two?
I got you one Tylenol, and
I'm supposed to take two when I have a headache.
No, these are extra strength, and I grabbed myself 2 cookies on the go, and I don't know where they ended up.
Cookies on the go.
Yeah, one was
I have
meant
a
for
headache and need Tylenol, and you're eating Christmas cookies.
Yeah, one was meant for you, but then I realized, you know what? This break was too long, and I could eat 2 cookies.
Yeah, that's good work. Good work, Beck.
'Tis the season, all right?
It's Christmas. Enjoy. Enjoy.
Exactly. So I don't know about the rest of you, but hopefully many of you have been able to get out and enjoy the outdoors this last year. Taking the hikes, to fishing, to harvesting wild game such as deer, to elk, to pheasant, to goose, for example. As you've cruised the grocery store aisles, though, especially the meat sections this last few months, you may have experienced the same as we did. The price on items such as that turkey did not drop as usual when there's sale promotions that occur this time of year. Instead, they actually increased and went higher. We saw on whole turkeys in our area priced from 98 cents to upwards of $1.28 per pound right before the holidays. And I don't remember them ever going that high, even during the avian flu pandemic or whatever went down the other year when birds were, a little scarce.
We were going to grab a ham for Christmas for my folks, and we like ham too. That was incredibly high in price. So that's something a lot of us have been talking about is the retail prices of our proteins have been very healthy, is what I'll just say right there.
They've been very strong.
Yes,
there we go. Thankfully here, we have been having a milder winter, meaning more open ground, no blizzards yet, fingers crossed, and right now I'm knocking on wood, okay? But it has led to us, as well as many of our friends and family, to be getting in the outdoors a little bit longer, meaning they're able to get in a little bit more of that hunting before the end of the year. And so as a result, we are expecting to be enjoying more game meats, such as venison and upland game birds, and maybe even goose this year instead of a turkey, unless one did fill their wild turkey tag, just because of those prices we're seeing in the store. It's encouraging us more to use what's in our freezer, what we have, and sharing that with others.
I got to say this. I'm glad that we don't have any goose or duck in the freezer. That's just my opinion. Don't get mad at me, y'all, but I don't care for it. Maybe that's just the way that I had it prepared. I didn't like it at all.
Well, I like how you just said that. I know Tigger's always thankful that we also have a freezer that is full of ranch-raised beef.
We've got everything else. I mean, we've got fish and we've got venison and we've got pheasant and we've got every other protein, but I'm just not a lover of the duck.
And, it's funny
geese
that you say that, because I was prepared for you to probably do a little bit of a backup nay on the goose and the duck. But here's what I'm going to toss at y'all, okay? And not just Tigger that's being a little more picky. We all have family members or friends that may say things about our other meats that they taste too gamey.
Too stringy.
Okay, they're too stringy. They're too tough. Maybe the fish are too fishy. We hear all these complaints. I'm going to say compliments, the complaints quite often. But here's the deal, okay? My 2 cents on this is that if you've prepared them once and it failed, don't give up.
I would agree.
When in life have you ever taken up a skill, and cooking is a skill, everyone, that if you failed the first time, you never did it again.
I know wild game is tough. It is, no pun intended with that. No, it's tough to prepare that. Venison especially, it can be a tough one. So I will try duck and goose again, just not by the person that prepared it the first time.
But they might have learned. Give them another chance.
All right,
that's what I'm saying.
All right.
And it could even be to those of us that are going to the store and maybe purchasing those maybe more budget-friendly cuts of beef as well. Typically you don't, because they might have that gristle fat that's hard to break down. This is where the game changer is. And it doesn't matter if it's venison to any of your wild games, your wild hog to pork roasts.
Rattlesnake.
Well, I haven't tried rattlesnake yet.
You need to do that, Beck.
But the Instant Pot. I have talked about this a million times.
Yep.
And it is a game changer. It gets rid of the toughness, the stringiness, everything that you've just complained about there, Tigger. It gets rid of when you cook it in your Instant Pot. But then this is the tip, and you've all heard me say it before, is don't be afraid to Google maybe for a recipe of said meat protein choice you're going for. And look for those that have, say, 1,000+ reviews. You'll be amazed how they will talk about using marinades, and they'll even teach you the science. And before you know it, you'll realize, hey, I have apple cider vinegar in my cabinet, and who would have thought if I mixed this with...
Hold on here. I get where you're going with this, because I said that we were going to get a ham for the folks for Christmas, which is just a few days away, and you're talking about the Instant Pot, and you're talking about duck and goose. Is this what we're having here in a couple of days? On Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
Now you're starting to put two and two together.
I want it. I don't even... I'm done. I wanted prime rib is what I wanted.
Well, that may be backup plan for Christmas Day. Okay.
Okay, I will. Here's what I'm going to say is I will try it, because you are more successful in the kitchen than you have failure. So I will try whatever duck or goose recipe. Who'd you even get the duck or goose from?
From our friend, our coworker.
Oh, from Rick.
Yes.
Oh, Rick gave you some.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Right. So this is what I'm telling you, though, is don't be afraid to experiment in the kitchen and get the kids involved. Get the grandkids involved. I'm serious. They can cut up carrots. They can cut up celery. They can peel potatoes, because gosh knows I've peeled enough and I refuse to peel them anymore. So someone else has to.
But shouldn't we have a backup plan?
We do.
Just in case.
I have a prime rib for us on Christmas Day.
You've got a frozen pizza is what you
Well,
got.
maybe that's the case too. But before we wrap this up, I also want to hit on the fish, okay? Because I mentioned fish as well in the beginning. And I hear a lot of naysayers on that too. And a lot of us enjoy getting out and pulling in the walleyes, reeling in the trout if you're a fly fisherman. Here's my deal with fish, and I find it a little bit more difficult, but my secret is lemon goes a long way. That's what I've realized and learned. And recently I've learned even more so that when you rinse your fish, even if it's been frozen for a while, don't be afraid to rinse it multiple times. Keep cleaning it through like cold water. And if it still has that stronger smell that remains, let it just sit in some lemon juice for a bit. Then make sure to pat dry it before frying it to get all the water off, and then season it to your liking. Lately, this has been what I've been doing to our fish, and it doesn't matter if I'm doing cod, if I'm doing
walleye, we've had trout, we've had bass in there, we've had
you
perch,
have
bluegill.
Given this Tigger approve, and that is I have been adding a dash of soy sauce while putting it on either our Pit Boss griddle or our Blackstone griddle, along with a dash of pepper. And every time, Tigger, you say
it's
yummy.
Awesome. It's awesome. I didn't think it was going to be any good. I got to be honest with you. And I love seafood and I love fish, but you have knocked this thing out of the park. So I highly recommend it's #Tigger approved to try.
Who would have thought? We all have soy sauce in our fridge somewhere.
And the fact that Beck and I are finally agreeing on something.
All right, we're having lots of fun here today. Stay where you are, because it's going to continue. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with The Ben Show right after this. Are the Florida Keys calling your name? Have you dreamed of catching exotic mahi-mahi, red snapper, sailfish, grouper? Blue Water Girl Charters can fulfill your dreams of saltwater fishing excitement. Book today, full or half-day charters. Let Blue Water Girl Charters make your dreams a reality. Blue Water Girl Charters. Follow on Facebook for booking and more information. Blue Water Girl Charters. Catch dinner and memories.
The hunt is planned. The guide is booked. The trip is blocked off in the calendar. But one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy, or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Armand with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, and riding shotgun, as always, is Jeff Tigger Earhart. Right now, we're going to head to Heather Crowey of Little Rock Taxidermy for a field report out of Illinois.
Beck, quick update here. A couple seasons have come and gone, and wanted to give you an update on that. So the firearm turkey season, which happened in October, there were 292 birds tagged. Youth firearm season for deer, which also was in October. I've not been able to find any information for the number of youth that were successful in tagging deer in Illinois, but congratulations to all that went and tagged, and thank you to the parents, grandparents, and other supporters of the youth for getting them out there, learning responsibilities, and being involved in conservation. The first firearm season has wrapped up. 53,348 deer tagged compared to 52,354 in 2022. Second firearm season has not been listed yet. It just closed, so we haven't seen any numbers. But looking ahead, archery hunters season goes through mid-January. And of other seasons, waterfowl in the southern region has just opened up, and the northern region remains open. Now, I did find a story of interest. It's from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. The 2024 Central Illinois Youth Goose Hunt is going to be scheduled for December 15th, 2024. And the registration is open until December 31st of this year. Now, what it is it's a youth goose hunt that will be held at private waterfowl hunting clubs in the Canton area of Fulton County, Illinois. The hunters are selected that will be pre-assigned to hunting locations. There will be 2 youth hunters, 2 adults, and a guide for each pit. Now, the age requirements is 10 to 17 years old at the time of the hunt, and they must be accompanied by a parent or guardian who has a valid FOID card, Firearms Owner Identification Card, which is a requirement here in Illinois. Now, if you are interested in this, check out the DNR website and get in there. Get on that list before December 31st. A little bit of news from Little Rock Taxidermy, just a couple updates. Still have deer coming in. Field care with the temperatures that we've been experiencing right now are critical. Try to get that hide cooled out the best that you can and don't wrap it up real tight. We don't want any hot spots. So, as always, follow your rules and regulations. If you're going to be up in a tree, please be sure to wear your harness safety systems. We want everyone to enjoy each and every day in the outdoors. Beck, Tigger, just a quick update from you guys. We're going to roll up here and hopefully get unloaded shortly. Thanks, guys.
Heather, she's so ranchy.
That's what I love. You know, folks, you can do your field reports from anywhere, like she just did. She's driving a big old grain hauler truck, and she left us a field report. You can leave us yours, too. Just give us a holler by text or calling 305-900-2363. Well, folks, it's been a fun show that was jam-packed, as always, with lots going on. I want to give a big old thank you to my producer, sound engineer, co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart, as well as to Heather Crowey of Little Rock Taxidermy for her field report. And also a big thank you to all of you listeners that have hung out with us again for yet another season of The Ben Show. This is crazy. When we come back from the new year, we'll be kicking off another season. And you know what? We are grateful for each and every one of you. Remember also, crew, to keep sending in your questions you might have. If you know of something spot-worthy for us to share, a recipe that we need to test out in our very own cabin kitchen, as well as your area's field reports. That number again, call or text anytime, is 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always email benradioshow@gmail.com. Missed part of this episode, or you'd love to hear past shows, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com, and be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to The Ben Show YouTube channel. Looking to change things up at your next event, conference, or awards banquet? Have us, Tigger and Beck, entertain your crowd in 2024. We are PRCA Pro Rodeo card holders, where Tigger is a pro rodeo announcer, and we are PRCA music directors. From MCs to event headliners, public speakers, we can make your gathering extra special. We cover everything from ranching to cattle, hunting, fishing, camping, the outdoors in general, and rodeo, including did you know that Tigger is also an auctioneer? Try spicing up your upcoming rodeo or fishing tournaments in 2024 by having us, Tigger and Beck, auction off a team or contestant Calcutta to add to the excitement. Regardless the crowd, we have the stories to share with the laughs to be had. Thank you to our partners, Ditali Outdoors, The Prairie Crocus, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Blue Water Girl Charters, Buckstorm, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, ToxicCalls.com, Wablo Creek Outfitters, Atlas Tracks, RFD TV, and Wrangler. Finally, a big thanks again to all of you listeners out there that came along this last year with us. And whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And we wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season this next week. Remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Ben Show on Facebook and on Instagram at The Ben Show. This is Rebecca Warner. Catch Beck if you can next week. You never know what will be coming around the bend.